Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the semi-final. South Africa taking on Australia. Now, you will notice that this game initially was going to be kicking off 20 minutes ago. The reason that it has not yet is because we just saw an absolute mammoth clash between New Zealand and Fiji. That game went to extra time, and in the end, it was Fiji who were able to book themselves a spot in the final. Now, the question is, are we going to get to see two matches taking place in the men's and the women's finals of Australia versus Fiji, or could it be the Blitzboks who do manage to get themselves through to yet again another finals matchup? In the starting lineup for South Africa, it will be Christy Grobbelaar, Zane Davids, Angelo Davids, JC Pretorius, Ronald Brown, Selvin Davids, and Mulla du Plessis. Then for Australia, Hutchinson, Dietrich Roche, Josh Turner, Matthew Gonzalez, Mark Nawaqanitawase, Nick Maloof, the captain, and Nathan Lawson. This game underway. Australia are the team that are kicking off. South Africa have got this ball. Angelo Davids, he scored a huge amount of tries throughout the last little while. Selvin Davids actually has to kick this one downfield. And tell you what, Ronald Brown is chasing after it hard, but it's going back for the penalty. A little bit of an anticlimax there with the early penalty to the Australians, but that's going to be helping Australia big time because it will only be 10 metres out that they have got themselves the quick tap opportunity. Ronald Brown just a little bit too quick to jump forward there. And that was utterly stupid from Fiji with two extra men. And they still want to run through New Zealand when they could have used the width. Says it was nothing in alley. Yeah, that is the thing. It looked like Fiji should have just been able to go straight across. Like you mentioned, use that width, use the extra men advantage and go in. But it did go to extra time. Now Australia working hard. Nawaqanitawase bumps off a tackle and he scores the first try of the match for Australia. Now he is one of the Union prospects that did make their way over to the sevens. The other was Samu Karevi. But it was the one, or the injury actually, it was, and also we have got there, Aussie, says Viniana, and go Aussie, good luck boys, but nicely done and tough luck to the All Blacks, tight game, let's go Box, says Josh Piper. Nice start to the match for the Australians. It was just that little bit of an offside. South Africa getting bumped off there in the tackle attempt. I should mention the winner of this game goes on to face Fiji for the gold medal. The loser of this game does end up going up against the New Zealanders. That's a good strike of the ball, but it's gone out to the right-hand side. And yes, boys, go the sick Aussies. And they come on the box. And box, there's Alta in there as well. But Mark Nawaqanitawase does score yet again another try. Come on the box, we can do it, says CR Warrior. Now, the thing is, the Springboks and the Blitzboks, they have found themselves down in points before, but they always find a way back into the game. They have incredible heart, which is something that is really hard to come by. Ronald Brown, he's upside down and he's still up in the air. He was held up for a very long time from Angelo Davids. Brilliantly done, and the crowd show their appreciation for the safety of his teammate. Changing the line there, that could almost be a penalty against Australia, but Nick Maloof is able to clean it up. Now 22 metres out from their own line. Matthew Gonzalez wrestled down by Mulla du Plessis. Now Mark Nawaqanitawase, what does he decide to do from here? He has been told to use it. Couldn't decide what way to go. He tries to go around the side. That is risky, definitely because he had no support with him. But he has just been able to hang on to it. Now Henry Hutchinson balling outside to Nick Maloof. JC Pretorius, a man who was a super sub throughout the World 7 circuit, has been playing that well that he made his way into the starting lineup for this one. Mark Nawaqanitawase. Now another ball off to Josh Turner. Inside ball to Mark Nawaqanitawase, the Waratahs winger. Nice little flick pass. Turner with a flat pass out to Dietrich Roche. Moving up to halfway now. Nawaqanitawase, another offload. Selvin Davids unable to take him down. Zane Davids finishes off Dietrich Roche though. Both sides throwing in some big shots early on. Come on the box. Yo Lekading. And there as well. Now Gonzalez puts the ball on the outside. And Maloof has the mistake. And it will actually become the penalty to South Africa. And there also we've got Angelo Davids, player of the tournament. I would 100% agree. He scored himself a hat-trick, and every single one was from the ball rolling through. And also Ferdinand has said South African flag, and let's go South Africa, says Josh. And South Africa now kicking it for the touchline. They will have themselves another attacking opportunity. 3.5 minutes gone in this match. A quarter of the game already down. And the Waratahs winger says, I know they ain't come on the box. Earlier on, go Australia, says Viniana. And also we have got come on Australia. Angelo Davids, the top try scorer of this competition, having 7 to his name currently. Ronald Brown about to throw this ball in for South Africa. I should mention no Sivebe is Wapi for the South Africans in this one. That's going to be another little mistake there, and it actually becomes the line out once again for South Africa. So exactly what we just saw, except about 20 seconds later. And anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It has been an absolutely awesome day of sevens, and we have got still plenty more coming up a little bit later on. And why do I always never underestimate the Springbok and also Aussie to win comfortably says it was Robert. He's grabbing it in behind. Angelo Davids, this one's going to sit up for him, and he gets another try from a kick in behind. That man just chases as hard as he can, and South Africa now managed to take the lead for themselves. Nice work. The kick was picture perfect. It sits up. The box will strike back, and they just did. Aussie, says Viniata. Yes, we are the best. Here's Skirshan there. And Angelo Davids now gets try number 8 in this competition. And the kick has gone over as well. The score sits 5 points to Australia and 7 to South Africa. And also, what was the score in the New Zealand game, mate? So it did end up going to golden point time, and Fiji able to win it. It was 19 points to 14. So Fiji make their way through to the final. New Zealand will be playing off for the bronze. You suck at Australia, says RJJ. And there it also, let's go, says our Warrior. Kicked off high from Selvin Davids, looking straight into the sun. A little bit like an AFL kickoff there. Corey Toole now got the pace, trying to cut through the middle. It's a good tackle made on him by Ronald Brown. And it's a penalty to Australia now. Josh Turner takes a quick tap, slinging it back across field. Matthew Gonzalez, he has been brilliant for the Aussies in recent times. Now Turner, ball on the outside to Corey Toole. It's about a 3-on-1, but Corey Toole blows the opportunity, or does he? No, he doesn't. Just managing to get it down for Australia. That was almost a massive mistake. He could have gone out to the right, but he did make a little bit of a wrong move, but it still works out for them. Couple lucky passes, and it does mean now that Australia score themselves their second try of the match, which now brings them up to 10 points to 7 up at the moment. And also, we have got their 69 nice. Says Mike there, but anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Who will win a foot race, Springbok versus Wallaby? Or it depends on the player. Of course, if you're sticking someone like, Sanatla, if you're giving Sanatla the chance up against any Australian player, he's probably going to be able to do pretty well in that foot race. But I guess Corey Toole versus maybe Angelo Davids might be the quickest matchup that we have got out here, but it is going to be Dietrich Roach converts, and Australia find themselves sitting 12 points to 7 in the semi-final. Still 20 seconds left to go for a sleep. Aussie Bokbo. And this is Clara, and also, did you say Australia 10 to 7? Says Philip. And then also, mate, you commentate so well, says Jack. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. But yeah, I do apologize to anyone who was hoping to be able to see this match. Sadly, due to the licensing, we are unable to show any match footage or audio, which is always a big shame because I wish there was a way of showing it. Ronald Brown takes it quickly. He wasn't back 10 meters, and because of it, Henry Hutchinson's going to find himself in the bin. So a little bit of a mistake there from the Australians. And now playing with 6 men out on the field, they will have to try and defend up against a dangerous Blitzboks side. Looks like Selvin Davids considering kicking this one for the touchline. Oh, that's a good kick. Right down to the corner now. Selvin Davids firing up his side. And I see almost stuffed that one up. Says Hanoi there. But what's the initial penalty? Henry Hutchinson tried to reverse back the 10 meters, but he was probably only back about 3. So that is why he did end up in trouble, and also got a spanner. Got to be somewhat respectful, says Gareth. And yes, please make use of this advantage. He's not your everyday cultist. Now it's going to be thrown in by Ronald Brown. Goes to the back. Nicely taken. Zane Davids pop pass up to Ronald Brown. Corey Toole rush defense on Selvin Davids. He's mistaken and he's missed. And now Angelo Davids runs it into the corner. Oh, I think Dietrich Roach was trying to say that he didn't get it down, but that will be the try for South Africa. I believe we're going into halftime 12-12 because this is going to be a hard kick to get. But if he does manage to nail it, South Africa will have themselves a bit of a lead going into halftime. But it was that initial mistake from Henry Hutchinson giving away the penalty. And then also alongside that, did leave his side down to 6. But Corey Toole missing that tackle on Selvin Davids was a massive gap opener. He's currently sitting 12-12. With a kick to come. That kick is missed, and we are going 12-all into halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Like I mentioned, if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That Aussie was trying to stop the Bok. Get broken neck, says Hanoi. And then also brilliant Springboks, says Costello. And imagine waking up every morning and you realizing that you're Australian, says Gareth. And covered Australia, says Viniana. And this stage, question is, will it be Fiji versus South Africa in the final, or will it be Australia versus Fiji? It is literally a pick'em game at this stage. They are so even, these two sides in this contest. But the big difference currently, one side's got 6 men on the field and the other has got 7. No Sawyers Wapi for the South Africans, unfortunately. They have still got Ndlovu, who was actually stretched off the field on day 1, but he managed to fight back. He was playing day 2, and he is now playing for day 3 as well. I believe the only player that the Australians are missing is Samu Karevi. That was due to his injury on day 1, but he has not returned, as it was something to do with either the calf or the hammy. The Boks will win. And there as well says Jabulani, and also the Bok says Sefer, and Fiji versus Australia in the final, and keep up the pressure. Blitzboks says Marcel. And there as well, but currently the coach is looking determined, try and get their sides through to the next stage of this competition. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be covering the final on the channel, and it will be kicking off. It's actually a better kickoff time for you guys in South Africa than it is for you guys in Australia. It will be an 8:04 a.m. kickoff New Zealand time, which will work out to be a 10:04 p.m. kickoff in South Africa. And depending on what part of Australia you're in, it could be around a 6:04 a.m. kickoff, maybe even earlier if you are in Western Australia. And also the Box says Dan, and there. And also squeeze these Aussies says not your everyday cultures, but Selvin Davids about to kick off the second half. They have still got that man advantage for the South Africans. South Africa yet to concede points in the second half this weekend. That is a massive stat. And Australia, if they want a chance to win this game, they will have to fix that. And what time in Australia, Eastern Standard Time? I would say 6:04 a.m. for that game. And then the bronze medal final is about 20 minutes beforehand. Who won the women's rugby final? They have not played that one yet. They are playing tonight. And it will be Australia versus Fiji. That is kicking off at 7:38 a.m. New Zealand time for that one. That one hasn't gone the 10 metres. Bit of a mistake from South Africa off kickoff. If Ronald Brown had retained it just a couple more metres forward, he would have been able to get his side on the front foot once again. But Australia, they won't be in too much of a hurry here. Use up a little bit more time. They've got 30 seconds on the clock till they are back to 7 men out on the field. And also Mark Nawakwinetawasi has done well. Seems more experienced than he is, says Hanoi. Yeah, he did start a little bit rough, but I think that was just getting adapted into the way that Sevens is played. And thanks for the commentary. Come on the Bok. There's Johan there. The kick behind is unsuccessful. It's charged down by Selvin Davids. They will not catch him, but he is going to be running it in to the corner. And the Blitzboks do manage to get the try, like they're saying, the way that a rugby game of sevens can completely change. Selvin Davids, it could have been a try at the other end for Australia, but the luck from Selvin Davids there. He charged down the kick, smacked him clean in the middle of the palms, and then sat up for Davids to get right into his stride. And Selvin Davids scored the try. We can bribe you, says Christian there. And also, yes, Bok, yes. And then Aussie, all the way, says Viniana. That will be Selvin Davids, who does manage to score the try. Now, I will mention South Africa, they did get that conversion, and now Australia are back to 7-on-7. Fiji all the way, Tosso says I sit. And there as well, but that's a good kick. Has gone over as well. Very nicely done. And let's go Australia, says Ben. Corey Toole, he needs to step up here in the later stages of the game. I think they're going to bring off Maurice Longbottom on the bench, or bring him onto the field, I should say, relatively soon. That sits up, and that could have been a try for JC Pretorius if he got the bounce of the ball, but he does not. Now it's a good bit of contact there from the number 3, James Murphy, fighting for every little bit in the breakdown. Gonzalez across now in the back line. Lawson goes to Toole. Man on the outside, and Dietrich Roach doesn't decide to use him. Instead goes off to Lawson first. St. David's able to shut down the Aussies pretty quickly. Dietrich Roach back into the pocket now for Australia, having to find a way through the South African defence, who are covering very nicely, all just drifting wider. Hutchison gives it off now to Lawson. Well, in fact, it's the captain, Nick Maloof. Mala Duplessis, hand on the ball. He wins the penalty for South Africa. That was absolutely brilliantly done by Mala Duplessis. And now South Africa, they will look to just calm this one down. Once again, mixed feeling. I'm South African living in Australia, says Solomon. Well, I guess either way, you'll be a happy man. You'll get someone in the final for this one. And they will be going head-to-head with Fiji. The loser of this game will be facing off against New Zealand. Selvin Davids takes the quick tap. Looking to the short side now. Good defence from Australia. Just dragging him down. Sean Williams, his foot was in touch. And now 5 minutes out, Australia will get themselves the line out if they want to take it. Instead, they go quickly. Risky play. But they do say they weren't quite on the mark. Oh, the call for the sub was already made, so they aren't able to take it quickly. And thanks for the awesome commentary. Go the Bok, says Daniel Brown there. But yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I mentioned about Maurice Longbottom making his way out onto the field at some stage soon, and he is now going out there. And also New Zealand, and there as well, says Nathan, and also Aussie, oink, 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 says Rajan, as a new one there. I haven't actually heard that one before. And also, we have got Davids as cold-blooded. He certainly is. And if we're the Blitzboks, are they the Flash Wallies? Decent question. I also haven't heard anyone refer to them as the Flash Wallies. I feel like it doesn't quite roll off the tongue, does it? As well as Blitzboks. Time is moving slow, says Sifo. Yeah. This game could also go to golden point depending on how it does end up going right at the end. Can Longbottom execute a short drop? Says it was Toby Hart. Oh, geez, you're all over the puns today, Toby. Longbottom. About to throw it in. Taking plenty of time there. A little bit nervous, I think, for the Australians that they are defending on their own in goal area. Turner has to drive forward. In fact, it was Dietrich Roach, wrestled down by JC Pretorius, almost got stuck in the breakdown. Now, Australia, they can't afford mistakes. Find the offload to Henry Hutchinson. They are only 1 metre out. Australia are going to have to kick this ball very soon as he's forced into touch. Brilliant work from the box. Bringing that physicality from Zane Davids and Sullivan Davids. And love your channel, mates. Says Sullivan, thank you very much. Hugely appreciate it. And also, was this the final? It is the semi-final. Whoever wins this does make their way through to the next stage, and they will be going on to the final to face off against the Fijians. But Henry Hutchinson, he was trying to get down to a knee. Sullivan Davids wouldn't allow it. And currently, the score sits 19 points to 12. All Blacks are out against Fiji, says Rob. They were indeed in golden point time. Was in the end going the way of Fiji. Sean Williams about to throw it in. Goes to the back. Nicely taken. Williams now slings it wide. It was almost a mistake, but Sullivan Davids, the pitch-perfect laser kick up to the wing. He's going to be put into touch for Angelo Davids. I can't believe Australia haven't conceded at this point in time because they are only a couple metres out from their line. And I can see you are a Blitzboks supporter, says 5Ps. I just love the game of sevens. And these two are absolutely throwing everything at each other. Tatonga make it, says Leka. Unfortunately, they weren't in the top 8. They were also beaten in their game up against Zambia more recently. Oh, in fact, sorry, it was Uganda who were able to beat them. Corey Toole did a textbook tackle round the bootlaces, drives them into touch. And now Australia need to find a way out of their 22. In fact, they need to find a way out of their 10 metres out from their line. South Africa have really trapped them in the last little while, almost stealing it. Now off to Maurice Longbottom in the pocket, and they do now boot it downfield. Smart play, but he didn't get a lot of distance on it for Josh Stern. He would have liked a lot more, anyone but Australia, says Gareth. And there as well. Okay, there is going to be a substitute. Australia just need a little bit more breathing room. They're pretty much suffocating in front of their own line. South Africa, they are ruthless in the way that they are going. Huge powerhouses of the game with huge followings. I understand why you would be excited for this game. Says Ben in there as well. Yeah, it's been an absolutely awesome semi-final round. Having this game and also that game between Fiji and New Zealand. Nice backline now. Muller Duplessis trying to go through the draw pass. Angelo Davids again gets another one. He's got himself another hat-trick. That is about his second or third hat-trick he's had today. Davids and co. And also we need another try before the half ends, and they have just done that. And now 24 points to 12. It's looking like a Fiji-South Africa final at the moment between these two sides. But down the wing, Angelo Davids gets in for another and says he will be having another hat-trick to his name. Referee watching his foot very closely. He just stays in the field of play. Tatonga make it. They unfortunately did miss out on the top 8 for it. So they will be playing up against, I want to say they've got a game a little bit later on, but I'm not too sure who they will be playing for their next one and also how much time on the clock. Currently, with that kick missing away to the side, the score, there's 45 seconds. So I believe at this stage, it's almost confirmed that South Africa will be the team that make their way through. Yes, Box, says Andre, and avenging Angelo, says Toby Hart, and also ole from Gareth there as well. Angelo Davids, once again, player of the tournament by far for this competition. And as long as he has a good game in the final, the Springboks 7 side do have such a good chance, or the Blitzboks, sorry. Now DeWalt Uman kicks it off short, just going the 10 metres. JC Pretorius lines it up, slaps it back onto the side of the Blitzboks. A little knock on, though. And this won't help Australia too much because this will still be a relatively slow scrum to get going. And are you streaming all the games, says Lecker? We are going to be doing all of those big matches that are coming up later on tonight, even though they will be on at about 6 a.m. New Zealand time, the first ones. We are going to be back doing the commentary. Angelo Davis has the most tries in the competition. Sorry, Aussies. Bias McDonald's says 5 BS. I mean, if McDonald's is on the table, I would happily accept some as well if they are all shouting. At Too Easy Men versus Boys, says Hanley now there. Nice run from Nawakwanita Wasi. Not quite able to find that offload and give the video a like, guys. Says SA Boy, and good job, Bok. Says John Lander there as well. Now Henry Hutchison, ball across to Nick Maloof, the Aussie skipper. They haven't given up yet, Australia. Yes, they cannot win this game, but it's going to be a knock on. And now that will be the end of the game. And South Africa, they make their way through to the final, where they will find themselves up against the challengers Fiji. And also Men versus Boys, there's Gregory, and also we have got their whoop whoop in the golden medal match. And the box says Jobalani. Now, the thing is, Fiji have never won a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. So that is absolutely massive. South Africa hasn't conceded second half, and they are still yet to. And thanks for this. You're awesome. Says Kirshan. I do appreciate that. Going down under, says Toby there as well. But nonetheless, do appreciate every single one of you for being here for this match. It was a brilliant performance once again by Angelo Davis, getting himself 3 tries. Also a try going the way of Mulla Duplessis. Then for the Australians, Mark Nawakwanita Wasi did score the first try of the match. Matthew Gonzalez did score the second for Australia. And when it's the final, South African time says not your everyday culture, so we'll quickly get that time for you, mate, so you do know exactly when it will be taking place. But I believe, at a bit of a guess, Fiji, South Africa, it is in 7 hours, 18 minutes time, and that will be at 10:04 p.m. South African time. So be sure to tune in for that one, ladies and gentlemen. We will be up. We will be covering that game as it's going to be epic, to say the very least. So it will be Scotland versus Samoa playing off for the 5th and 6th place position. Alongside that, New Zealand versus Australia for the bronze, and Fiji versus South Africa for the men's final. Then for the women, they are going to be kicking off in only 4 hours' time. We won't be covering that game, though, I don't believe. I think I will be sleeping at that point. That would have been South Africa versus Sri Lanka. But the bronze medal match, New Zealand taking on Canada, and then Australia facing off with Fiji. Some big games coming just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a couple of reviews coming out on the channel. Also previews for the next matchup that has taken place. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.